Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do. But due to technical difficulties, my last lesson was cut short, so I'm going to pick up on that. And I'm not going to go through my opening lessons. I, I will, so sorry. I got to keep protocol. Right as a 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, the message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on. Even with technical difficulties, I'm going to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. That's what I do for you. Right thinkers way of life. Again, through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain that goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. Right thinkers, your goal should be to know thyself. So we're on the same page. Let's go. Know thyself. I ask, do you know you? The question, a person who knows not. Oh, excuse me. Ask the question. It's rhetorical. Sorry. If you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Let's go. A person who knows not. It knows not that they know not. Foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not. It knows that they know not. They're simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. Person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. We're doing all about meditation. I'm trying to get you to how to master the art of meditation. So I'm taking you through the basics, starting with concentration. I was left off at when through the practice of meditation, daily meditation, your mind becomes like the ocean, okay? But imagine it without the waves. You can look clear down to the bottom. That's the concept. We do it with the lakes all the time. Ocean, a little harder, but the same concept. So let's go. Have you noticed that when there are waves, it is difficult to see the bottom of the water, pretty much in the lake, no matter how shallow it is? That's because you also notice that when the water is calm, have you know there is visibility. Still water, no shimmer, no nothing. Still water like a glass, it shimmers. Okay, you can slip right through. Visibility is clear because why? The sand and the other objects in the water have settled down to the bottom. The sediment, the dirt that floats around, the water is moving. Everything has been tossed and thrown around. That's the concept. All right? That goes on in your head conceptually when you don't have focus control over what the mind. It's going to do what it's going to do. I told you, conscious, subconscious, and unconscious states of mind. The subconscious mind never stops. Unconscious mind takes the back seat until what? It's time to go to bed. The conscious mind, which is waking mind, is in control right now. If he's not enlightened, if your conscious state of mind ain't where it need to be, you're going to suffer. Moving on. We suffer because it, with knowledge takes away the suffering. Watch this. With meditation, increases your knowledge. Where we at? Now, in the same way, you cannot see the depths of your mind. There we go, metaphorically. Why? Because it is constantly in what? Movement. What do God tell you? For his followers the Christian faith, still yourself. Why? To know that I am God. If you can't stop all the nonsense going on in yourself, you ain't gonna listen to God talk. Why? You need to be still. Same thing with the water. If the water is still, it's clear. Look right onto the bottom. If the mind is clear, it can receive the information that's going to come to it. The sediment of unconsciousness, bad thoughts, impressions is what? Constantly being stirred up where? In the mind. In the foam and sprays or whirlpools of thoughts and concepts and emotions in the mind. And all this do not allow what? Clear vision, thoughts of what lies beyond this stuff that's going on in your mind. Okay, the water. What's going on at the bottom? Nothing. You can't see nothing. Why? It's too murky, too disturbing. Why? Until you slow down the thinking process, slow down the thoughts. Our thoughts. Get rid of thoughts that does nothing. Useless information. So if a person who is untrained, a lot of y'all are untrained in what? The art of meditation. Ding, 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 ding. This is an art. It had to be practiced. It had to be mastered like anything else. Mainly ourself. And mastering the mind is the mastery of self. When you practice the art of meditation or yoga, it is constantly thinking about objects and how to what? Acquire them, about the past, the present, or the future. The mind is all about how to satisfy what the physical desires, which are constantly arising, and so on. There's a lot of stuff going on inside your head. And if you're not trained to compartmentalize it and understand it and put it in perspective, a lot of stuff going on. Everybody can't function with a lot of stuff going on. Trying to teach you how to deal with it. But you must learn, first of all, this is the basics, right, thinkers? You must learn to ignore what? The bad thoughts, the negative concepts, the consistent stream of input from your physical senses. If you living for the pleasures, the five senses of the body, you're going to have problems. Don't do that. Ignore that. I want this, I want that. If it's physical, man, let that go. Why? Temporary satisfaction can lead to long-term problems. Sexual encounters with no protection. What can happen? Yeah, we might get a sexually transmitted disease. No, you can make a human being. Think about that? Yeah, that's the result of bad decision making. Simple. Why? Because they want the pleasure. They're forgetting about the consequences of that action. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm getting a little annoyed with that time nonsense too. Where we at? The consistent senses. Stop living for the cardinal. The Bible tell y'all that too. Y'all learn all this. They tell you and tell you and tell you. You still do what you want to do anyway. You can serve God, you can serve yourself, aka the devil. Moving on. Now this process of withdrawal, they call it, will what? Will allow you, the individual, to what? Achieve. It will allow you to achieve true introspection. You listen, you reflect, and you meditate. Those are things that you do. And when it's coming down to you, those are things that you should take important. Self-reflection should be done on a day-to-day basis, aka checking yourself. If you don't hold yourself accountable to do what's right, who else is? Nobody. So they're gonna see you wild and acting out. You gonna swear to God you doing something, you just doing acting a fool. A lot of us do that. Many people, here you go, practice what? Concentration in the world. They want stuff. New car, big house, pretty girl, nice husband. All that stuff. That stuff. How about happiness? I told you about that. Inner peace. How about that? You don't want that. Why? That don't look good. Nobody can see that. He sees it. Trust me. The big difference in the idea, watch this, of concentration as is presented here from that of the world is that, watch this, worldly minded people concentrate on what? Any means through which they feel they can achieve the object of their desires or affection. A lot of people do whatever they got to do to get what they want. I remember a guy told me, I'm a chameleon. I'll be whatever I got to be to get that money. I'm not doing that. I also was told you ain't gonna get rich telling the truth. I'm trying to get rich, but I'm gonna tell the truth. Simple as that. So people have ideas of their own, but if you learn to ignore theirs and go with yours, that's the philosophy that you live by. You let somebody else lead you along the way. You can't say it's you. You can't say it's yours. Why? Somebody else is giving it to you. I'm giving you information you can use for yourself and make it yours. Sorry about that. Moving on. So watch this. When people got that attitude about the world, watch this, that worldly attitude, some want to get rich, others concentrate on creating inventions, okay, others on becoming wealthy, okay, enough. Why? So that they can what? Spend their time on the various distractions in life, aka the good life. Why? Spend it that money can provide you. Okay, money can buy. Still, others concentrate on what? You ready for this one? Evil activities, illegal activities. I spent my early part of my life, thinking illegal activity was my calling. How dumb was I? But again, dumb enough to follow that nonsense and what? Suffer the consequence. Okay? Now, how smart are you? I ain't doing that no more. Hello? Come on, y'all. And some of us, you don't have to go to prison to learn that selling drugs ain't the right way to go. You see it all the time. But we admire the bad guy and think the good guy is. I know that. Been there too. So watch this. But in the spiritual life, in which I'm changed over, the spiritual life is all about higher consciousness. And the objects of concentration is now to what? Control the mind. Why? In order to promote purity of the heart and strengthen your inner will to what? Do what's right, virtuous, be right, do right. Why? Because if those are things that's going to get you to be a better you, that's what you implement for yourself. People can talk about it. Everybody talk about this, that, and other, but it's up to you and every individual to do what they think is best for them. Simple as that. Moving on. And if you have control of this, you're able to do that a lot better if you didn't. Remember the phrase, better to have knowledge and don't need it. Okay, than to need knowledge and don't have it. I'm just saying. So in the spiritual life, you have different mindset and objects of concern. An ancient Egyptian book of the coming forth by day, as well as the ancient Egyptian wisdom text from the year 5000 BCE, the sole object since 5000 BCE, when it was instituted, was to what the sole object of all spiritual practices is to what? Explicitly, and is stated to be what? The attainment of Makaru. What that mean? Purity of heart, speaking pure truth, harmony, and righteousness. Those are qualities that you aspire to do in your personal life on a day-to-day basis. That's living Maya. That's right thinking philosophy, way of life. I institute it. I use it daily. And watch this. What happens then? When you obtain Makadu, this will lead to, you ready? Spiritual enlightenment, spiritual realization, and knowing thyself. It all comes out to the same thing. But the work and effort it takes to make happen, a lot of people don't want to put that in. So everybody's not going to get it. It's there for everybody. Moving on. Let me wrap this up. I see the clock. I'm going to make this too long. All right. The lessons, the reasons. But I want to get to the next lesson. I'll see the next one coming up. But the reason for leading a meditative lifestyle, do you know what that is for? You know why? Because I do it, which involves, in order for you to reach this level of lifestyle, meditative concept, you have to master detachment, dispassion, and have righteousness and harmony is so that you may be able to now, by doing these things, you will be reducing the distraction, aka dramas of life that we put ourselves through, situations that once we get involved in the distractions, and we call that wastage of what? Mental energy, which is squandered, okay, away on what? Things which are not needed and which, upon closer reflection, are not even real anyway. Chasing a bunch of nonsense for nothing, and you don't realize that. So you continually do it, and it's a natural order of things until what? You wake up and realize what it is. If you don't know, you're still doing it. If you're conscious, a lot of things I'm telling you, you should already know. If the things I'm telling you, you're hearing for the first time, you're not conscious. So come on, hang out. I got you. Trust me. Many times, what? People are so involved. What's this? If this is you, you should take stock. Which, with the world of human experiences, we came here to have a human experience. But we came here to know ourselves. We came here to become conscious of who we are so that human experience will be a pleasurable one. We think life is suffering. Yeah, because we do the things that bring on the suffering. I told you we suffer because we're ignorant with knowledge of self, understanding, and manifestation of things that's right and that's good. You won't have those problems. Moving on. When you have the human experience, that what happens? They now cannot stop thinking about what? Worldly objects, peoples of the world, okay, relationships or situations which what they just can see, they just can't stop desiring. They just got to have it. And watch this. They live through hate, or either they want something or they hate something or they wish they can acquire something. But it's always their mind is always all over the place, never focusing. And I got the Jedi when Yoda was telling Luke, you fail because you never where you are now. Your mind's on layer. You worry about this one, you worry about that one, you worry about your father, you worry about your mind is everywhere except where it needs to be, which is in the present. When you become meditative, understanding, you know exactly what that means. Focus. All right. So, and as long as you're doing those other things, what happen? As long as those conditions exist in you, what happen? You will be extremely. It will be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to what? To achieve success in the art of meditation. All up to you. And that's the lesson why I want to make it short. I want to get my point across. Oh, I got some more. The next one's called the aid to concentration. I'm taking you slow. I don't want to give you too much too fast. So in leaving and parting, closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and be 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I'll be back.